What do we do? I'm so bad at answering this question. It's
a hard one. I feel like property
question.
management's a hard one to answer for because it's so much more than just real estate. It's like you're literally like helping people with investing as well. Like, it's nuts.
It is. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a tough one to answer because like on the surface I want to say like, you know, we manage people's investment properties and all of that, but like there's a lot that goes into it. Like finding tenants and screening and, you know, kind of managing their asset and making sure that it's performing to its peak.
Yeah. Make sure it doesn't go downhill either, because like that's a lot of people mess up properties. So like that's your job to be like, you're not gonna scratch on the walls or 100%. Do things. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
we've had like a lot of several of our clients have come in and have just been in such bad situations with either tenants or just the way their property has ended up. And I don't like that they're in those situations, but it's a fulfilling position for us to be in because then you get to like help them and kind of guide them to where we can help them be cash flowing or fix their property up or find awesome tenants. And so that's really rewarding.
It is rewarding because you really are helping people. At the end of the day, that's what you're doing, which is incredible. But yeah, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you do here? Do you live in Sarnia?
Yes, we do live in Sarnia.
Oh, okay.
We're not like local. We are not from here, and I find that I don't know, Sarnia people are all like, they're either like from here or like they moved here with a spouse, but neither of us were originally from here. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of just ended up out this way.
Hey, there you go. So what do you do in Sarnia?
So my husband and I own a property management business.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a good one to get into.
Yeah, we really like it. We kind of just are finishing our first calendar year in business.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah, how was your first year? Was it a banner year or was it like hiccup?
I want to say, like it wasn't hiccups, it was just a lot of learning along the way, right? Like
Absolutely.
Neither of us have ever done anything like that before. So a lot of learning curves. Things took a lot more time to get started than we thought.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, it was a good first year.
Have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur?
No.
Oh, see, I usually get the opposite answer. It's always like, yes, this is my life, it's my mission, it's my purpose.
No.
Wow. Why did you get into it then?
So my husband, Tyler, he is very much like that. He always wanted to, like even as a kid, like he wanted to start a business and like be his own boss and help people. I very much do not have an entrepreneurial drive.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is tough.
It's very tough.
It is. But yeah, so it was kind of his passion project, and I ended up joining forces. So now we do it together, and it's fun. Yeah.
So what's the actual company's name?
Real Property Management Riverview.
Oh, nice. Why the name?
So it is part of a franchise.
Oh,
so
cool.
Real Property Management is the franchise, and then they kind of just tell you like, pick a little like word to go at the end, and we're down in Corunna, so
nice.
We thought
I'm a Corunna gal
Riverview
myself.
would be cute, kind of topical for the area, but yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. So in terms of like being in Corunna, do you find you get a lot of like clients in the county then, or are you more focused on Sarnia?
We're more so getting a lot more people in like Sarnia proper.
Nice.
That's kind of where most of our clients are now. But we do get a lot of people who are like living out of town and then just investing in the area.
Fair.
Yeah.
But that must be a little bit difficult, like not to put you on the spot here, to work with your husband, like to work with your spouse. Do you guys like have a good like balancing act going on, or do you find like you have those days?
For the most part, we have a pretty good balance. We almost like sometimes we say like this almost brought us closer together.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Which is
then.
nice.
Yeah.
Like we spend all the time. We share an office, so we're together very regularly.
Yeah.
But it, like not to say we didn't have a reason to talk before, but like it gives you a real reason to like talk a lot about just like what's going on, how is everything going.
Yeah, that is such a great point. I also feel like there's a beautiful thing in that sharing moment about like clients, because a lot of times if you have an entrepreneur and their spouse is not a part of that business, you can't really speak about the clients, you can't really give away too much information, but then there's some things you want to vent about. And so for you guys to have that commonality and be in the same office, like you can just talk to each other real and you don't have to worry about confidentiality agreements, anything like that. That's actually pretty beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married in 2021 we got married.
Wow.
So we had a COVID wedding. We actually got married in our living room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's always a treat.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm sure you saved a lot of money though.
Oh, a ton of money.
Yeah.
A ton of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was the two of us, and then we've got two little boys, so they were there. Aww. And then it was our siblings, so my sister and his brother and sister were there, and that was it. We
That's really
Skyped
beautiful.
our parents in.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time. It's not what you envision, but.
So why did you move forward with the COVID wedding, even though you could postpone? So what was the reasoning behind that?
So originally we were supposed to get married in March of 2021, and then obviously COVID happened in 2020, and we just kept going back and forth. Should we postpone? Should we not postpone? We had moved it forward a few times, and then eventually we were just like, this is crazy. We keep changing our plans. We keep having to retell everybody new information. So eventually we just said, screw it, we're just gonna do it and we're gonna be done with it. And then we ended up having a little backyard kind of party for all our friends and family eventually afterwards, and it was really fun.
So in hindsight, are you happy that's how your wedding went down?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think simplicity is awesome. I'm getting married in 2025, and thank you. He's sitting in the audience. And so I'm trying to keep things so simple. I have a huge family though, but even for me, I'm in that moment, I think I would have made the same choice, 100%. Because at the end of the day, it's about you and your person. Obviously, the dress, though, is my thing that I definitely want to, keep in mind. But so for you, launching into business, being married, it seems like a very, it's only been 2 years then. And you said you have 2 boys?
We do.
Wow. So a mother on top of that.
Yes.
Wow. How do you, handle all of that? That seems like a lot.
Some days I don't.
That seems like a lot on your plate, yeah.
Yeah, it's busy for sure. Honestly, I think going into business has helped us kind of balance everything. Before this, my husband traveled a lot for work. He'd be gone 3 days a week, almost every week.
Wow.
So it was tough kind of being by myself and with the kids and just trying to manage everything on my own. But now that he's home and we're able to kind of just come together as a family at the end of the day, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely. Connection is everything. And if you can't connect with your partner, I feel like that causes so much distress, 100%. Especially when you got kids. I was raised by a single mother, so I didn't have a father in my life. And so I know what it's like to look at the absence of that 100%. And to see my mom not being able to talk to anybody about it. Yeah. So thankfully you didn't have that experience, but you still experienced that for 3 days out of a week where you didn't really have that support. Not his fault, obviously. No, of course it's just life. But are you very, very happy then with the switch to just being kind of more consistent in schedule?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so you're more of a routine person?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the consistency. I like kind of having the flow that we're in.
Yeah.
It helps, for sure.
I think that's quite impressive. I think what you've just told me from now, I'm very impressed by you. I'm wow, okay, this girl's got, okay. But how do you even go about that and make sure that you are taking care of yourself as well?
That is a tough one. I find I often will let myself kind of fall to the wayside, and I have to remind myself regularly hey, you have to remember you you got to remember to take care of yourself. So trying to kind of carve out space for me to just do my own thing, even for me to just spend time with my husband. We work together, but out of the office, away
Quality
from the kids. Non-work time. So kind of just carving out those little pockets, even just getting up a half hour before the kids. Just those little pockets of
the morning coffee,
peace, quiet. Nobody needs me. Nobody's talking to me.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely. So do you have any hobbies then outside of work and all that fun stuff?
I try to find hobbies.
Hobbies are hard.
They are. I feel like as an adult, you're oh, what are your hobbies? And it's wow, I have no hobbies.
I cry in the bathroom.
I scroll quietly on my phone.
I manage to do a face mask every 3 months. That's actually super, super fair, especially when you got kids. That, I feel especially as women, I feel we take the caretaker role and the caregiver role, and a lot of people disagree with that. Honestly, for me, I'm do whatever you want to do. Whoever feels most comfortable to take on that role is fine, but we often put ourselves on the back burner, and then our kids become our hobby. I'm acting like I have a kid. I just have a cat. But One day I will be able to say this and it won't be in like the future tense. But yeah, and so for you to have to carve out that time, do you find though working with your husband actually kind of helps you carve out that time just because you're just constantly bouncing off each other?
Yeah, I think it does. Just like knowing that he's there and like we kind of can choose our own schedules. So like if I need him to pick the kids up from school one day so I can just go
chill,
and do my own thing, we can do that,
yeah.
right? So kind of having that flexibility has been a huge game changer for us.
Flexibility in anyone's schedule and anyone's life. I feel like that's like the key. That's the key to happiness, is just having a flexible life. So for you not wanting to be an entrepreneur and now you're in it, are you like thrilled to be in it now?
For the most part, yes. Some days I have days where I'm like, gosh, I wish I could just like go clock in somewhere and just be done. But for the most part, like being our own boss and kind of being able to choose what we're doing and just having the space to not worry about a boss and figuring out schedules that way, I don't regret becoming an entrepreneur and doing it ourselves.
But it is a lot of pressure. Like from what you were saying, like I wish I could clock out. Even me, like I have a fantastic job with fantastic people, and even me, I find like a lot of pressure even just with a 9-to-5 job.
100%.
And so a lot of times I'm like, man, I just wish I could just quit this and go back to bartending or go back to serving and not have that constant pressure of like my livelihood is on the line and I have to hustle. I don't really enjoy that feeling. No, so is that how you feel in entrepreneurship? Because I feel like it'd be 10 times more that feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to do this or you have nothing.
Or you're done. You're toast.
You're done. You don't have like,
absolutely.
You know, you can't just not do your job and then, you know, the big corporate boss is still going to pay your paycheck.
Yeah, it's like
you have to hustle and you have to do this or.
Absolutely. So what did you do before this then?
So for a little bit, I was a stay-at-home mom, and that was kind of my whole thing.
Stay-at-home mom, that's a hard job too. You went from stay-at-home mom to entrepreneur?
Yeah, I took, so I was a dental assistant kind of before being a stay-at-home mom, and then a little bit in between. Yeah. Which was also tough.
That's so like a lot of like hours. Yeah, it is. On your feet, hunched over, that's a lot on the body. Yeah, it
was fun, but yeah, it's a difficult job in the sense that like you can't just like leave. It's not like an office where it's like, oh shoot, I have to take a long lunch today. It's like, oh shoot, if I have to take a long lunch, then like there's nobody to help a patient. Right? It's tough in that sense where you're like, you feel like you have to just be there no matter what's going on. But it was fun at the same time. I enjoyed it, So
where, like, do you go to college or university for dental hygienist? I never know the difference.
College.
College,
Yeah, I went to like a dental focused school.
Cool. Where was that?
In Toronto.
Oh, nice. Toronto gal. I was in Toronto too. I was at York though. Okay, so it was like GTA, like North York, so it wasn't downtown. So was York like school downtown Toronto?
No, it was also kind of in like, oh shoot, what's it called? It's similar area. I can't remember the names, but similar area.
How long were you there for?
So I was there for a year.
Oh, nice. Only a year?
Yeah, it was a short program. Really nice. Yeah, kind of flew right through it. But it was good.
So did you experience like the city life, and that's what you were like, I do not want that? No, so you've never been a city gal?
Not really, no. I think we lived in Scarborough for like 6 months maybe when I was a kid.
The Scarbs, okay.
It was in like 3rd grade, so it wasn't like crazy or anything. But we lived there for a little bit, but even my husband and I were living in Kitchener when we met, and both of us were like, this is kind of a lot.
Kitchener is bigger than people think. I think they think it's the same level as Sarnia, and I'm like, it's like 10 times bigger, 10 times bigger. So what were you doing in Kitchener then?
So I lived there with my family, and he was from Brampton and kind of moved out that way, just looking to buy his first house by himself. Yeah. And it's cheaper out there than it was in Brampton.
Absolutely.
So I was just living there, and we kind of got together then. And
did y'all have like a meet cute, or was it?
No.
Oh no? How'd you guys meet?
We met on Bumble.
Oh, okay, that's still cute though. Well, that's how most people meet their spouses now. So yeah. That's really sweet. So what was your opening line to him then? Because you got a message first.
Gosh, I don't even remember. I don't remember.
Was it like, hey, how's it going?
It's probably something
that's what like every
that.
Girl on Bumble does. It's just like I feel like on Tinder and on Hinge, like guys are like, I gotta think of a one-liner, and then us on Bumble is like, hey, how's your day?
And they're like, amazing. She's
talking to me. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I love that though.
Yeah.
So were you on every single dating app or just Bumble?
I was just on Bumble.
Yeah, the Bumble was top tier. Bumble was the best one.
It felt like
I felt like Tinder was just like so aggressive. It was just
and that's why I was like, I'm not doing Tinder.
No. But Bumble was like, I'm in control, so thank you.
Makes it better.
Yeah. So what was your first date?
Our first date, we went to. There was a bowling alley near his house.
Okay.
It was kind of like a bowling alley Boston pizza
That's
combo.
a good first date.
It was really fun. Yeah.
And what made you like fall in love with him?
Oh man.
He's watching. Just remember.
He's watching. Honestly, I think his sense of humor. Oh. Sometimes that's what I like hate about him now. Yeah. But his sense of humor. Is
when
really
they're
good.
funny, it's like, oh God.
So nice, but then it's like, don't be mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, sorry, I just laughed because I just heard Nick make a comment about his humor because now I think he's funny, but we've been trying to say that he's not. So, so that just ruined my cover, but whatever. But so how long did you guys date before engagement, kids, and all that fun stuff?
Not very long. So we had dated for, I want to say like 6 months, maybe before we got engaged, and then.
Hey, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, did you get like that gut feeling that a lot of people get, where it's like, yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It was very early on. I was like, yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah, and then your life just blossomed from there.
Yeah, it really just went from there and spiraled. And
So what's your biggest highlight from the start of like meeting him, even just like before that, like start of meeting him, all that whole process up till now? What's the biggest highlight?
There's been a few.
Yeah.
You know, like the kids are obviously a big
highlight.
I
guess kids are like a thing. Yeah, like they're pretty beautiful and stuff.
They are awesome. Yeah. We do love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of good moments. Like we had our kids and our wedding was so fun. And, you know, now starting this business together, it's been just like a progression of like awesome things that we've been able to do together.
Absolutely. Seems like you guys are just very adventurous too. Like just like from the little I know of you two, it's like the fact like 6 months in you're engaged, then you're having kids, then you're having a COVID wedding, and then now you're in a business together.
It sound very chaotic.
No, it's not even chaotic at all. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's very adventurous. So do you guys like travel a lot, or are you more homebodies?
Not really. It's funny you say that like we're adventurous. He has like a little sign in the office, and I'm gonna butcher the delivery, but it was like something about like adventure is like if you're not adventurous, then like that's dangerous for your life and you're gonna be boring. And I was always like more of a homebody. I think I've converted him.
Oh, fair.
I think that we're both like more homebodies now.
Oh.
But he was always the more adventurous one, which is probably why he's pulled me into this business.
He's like, let's go.
Started this whole thing. And
I think that's such a beautiful thing about a partnership, though, because I feel like there's always a dynamic. Maybe not always. I shouldn't globalize it, but there's always like somebody. I said always again. There's somebody who's like pushing. And there's somebody who's like receiving it sometimes. I feel like often in my relationship, I'm the one that's always pushing. I make Nick do everything with me. And I feel, but it's not like he doesn't want to do it, but it's like I'm the one taking charge and be like, we should do this, that we should go here. And he's like, yeah, I would love to.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so beautiful in partnership is that you get to make those decisions like together, and he can say no, like don't worry. But so for you being a homebody, so you describe it like more of like the traditional, like he's an extrovert, I'm an introvert, and then I feel like every extrovert gets converted into an introvert eventually. Slowly. Because the introvert's way is like top tier. Like it is my favorite way to live. A lot of people think I'm an extrovert just because of how I present. No, I'm a hardcore introvert, and I just think it's just you also save a lot of money. You save a lot of money. You just don't want to leave your house. So, what's your favorite stay-at-home activity?
Oh, it depends on the day. I think usually like you settle down with like a movie and a good snack and like a glass of wine.
Oh,
I
was just about to say that.
Trifecta of everything I want.
Yeah.
A blanket.
Oh my gosh, yes. What movie would you be watching then on those perfect nights?
I usually go for like a funny movie. I don't like the scary ones because
fair.
Baby, but like a good like comedy or a rom-com is a classic. My husband and I. We both really like 22 Jump Street, which is like the cheesiest movie.
No, it's like so good though. It's so good.
And there's so many good like lines from it that we just like throw them at each other every now and then.
Oh my God, yeah, the banter back and forth because of the movie lines. Oh, that's
It's
the best.
perfect.
Oh, it feels so good. And like when they hit you with like a good movie line and then you get to hit them back, you're like, this is what life is. This is what love's supposed to be. I love that though. I am very much the same way, except I'm into reality TV. I love reality TV. Have you watched Love Island?
No,
you need to watch Love Island. The UK version though, the US one is trash. It's so trash. Australia's okay, but the UK one, top tier.
All right.
But I also like the Netflix ones. Have you seen the Netflix ones?
Like the bad, like love.
The terrible ones.
Like too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my God, my favorite. I absolutely love the concept of that show because it's just so ridiculous.
It's like so messy.
But it's also relatable because you're like, every single season, I'm like, I'd be the banker. Like, I'd be like, if anybody is doing anything, I am. Yeah, exactly. There's money on the line. Like, I take it so serious.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God. Would you be in the banker category too then?
100%.
Yeah, money's
like,
everything.
you always, like, when you're watching it, you're like, I hate that person. They're being so annoying. But, like, I know I would be them.
Yeah.
Everybody would hate me. But
it's like,
gotta get that
I want money, so I'm going to progress. And I also like the retreat aspect that they have, like those little activities that they do.
Cute, right?
I know, I'm like, where do I go?
You guys can make this so wholesome.
Right? I don't know if this is how you feel, but whenever I'm watching these shows like Love is Blind, Too Hot to Handle, all these ones, I'm like, I wish there was a reality TV show for romance, but for couples that are already existing, so that I can do these, like, actually, I want to go do these activities, but I don't want the love aspect of it.
No, like,
I would rather be there with my partner and just enjoy that experience. But then every time I go online and I look up like couples retreats or anything, it's like $5,000, and I'm like,
pass.
Who's got that? Like, I don't got that, man. No, I'll just like put a fort up in my room and just figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just love those ones. Love is Blind though, I think is the messiest one. But have you watched Ultimatum?
I did watch that. I think I only watched the first season of
The second season wasn't that great.
No?
The queer love one was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really good. It was messy as all hell though.
Like,
messy.
You're asking for it on that show.
Oh my gosh. I love it because I'm a queer gal myself, but I'm just like, man, like, some of those people should not have been on that show. There was so much abuse going on. It was just messed up. Like, I found that one to be messier than like the other one. The first one, but the first season was actually good because those two actually seemed, I forget their names. It was like the ones, they were both like mixed race, they were both Italian, they were both like at the same age, and they just like, they looked like they were in love with each other. And I was like, you guys are soulmates. And then they weren't soulmates. And I was like, I'm pissed.
I hate this show.
I signed up for something and you guys are not doing it. I hate it.
For me.
Yeah, no, I hated it. But at the same time, I think if you're going to go on that show, if you're going to go on The Ultimatum, if you're going to go on Love is Blind, I don't think you are going to find what you're looking for. No.
I don't
think
so. I think at this point
not.
it's just like, you want to be on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So are there any other reality TV shows that you've like dived into?
I mean, I went through like a big Bachelor phase.
Okay, yeah. I think everybody does.
Spiraling now.
Yeah.
I recently started Vanderpump Rules from like the beginning.
Oh my God. Do you like it?
Chaotic.
I started watching it and I didn't get through, I think, the third episode.
No.
Because for me, I'm like, what is the goal here?
I just want to like yell at them.
Exactly. And they're so mean to each other.
Right?
Like for no reason.
I could never be that confrontational.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
like the one girl, I don't know what her name is, but she like wants to maybe. Oh yeah, the blonde. Oh, she's nuts. I'm like, oh my God. But at the same time, I kind of get it. I'm like, if I could be that blunt all the time,
right?
I'd maybe try it out, maybe. But the one lady who wants to be like a pop star.
Oh,
I think it was, I don't know.
Sheena.
Yeah, Sheena. And then she was like moaning into the mic. I was like, I'm done.
Immediately done.
I was like, I don't even know. You guys are serving in a restaurant, you're bartenders, you're all really good looking, and then suddenly that happens.
Did you get to where they did like the group photo shoots for the restaurant?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're all like in bikinis by the pool, like posing, and I'm like, for a restaurant? Are you sure?
I guess sex sells. I don't know. But why do you think those shows are like even made to begin with? Because I have a hard time wrapping my brain around it.
It is like a tough one to conceptualize.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's just like it almost makes you feel better about your life watching just like absolute chaos unfold in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're like, wow, I thought it was bad here. It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. I've got my kids running around, but you know what? At least I'm not doing that. Absolutely. That's honestly, I think that's exactly how I feel. Because I've had a pretty lucky adventure in like the love life with my boo, I guess you could say. And so when I watch like the chaoticness, I'm like, my little wine glass. Like, but yeah, but Vanderpump Rules, I think there's something very like uniquely human about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every single person on the show was perfectly chosen by, is it Vanderpump, is her name Lisa?
Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Yeah. Because they all just have narcissistic qualities. And I think it's really interesting to see how the world reacts with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really is for me. I would love to continue watching it. I just think I had to be in the right headspace to like
100%.
take in that much energy.
Yeah.
But I think that reality TV is such a unique perspective on the world. And a lot of people want to say it's like only for women and it's trash TV and it's bad TV. I'm like, no, it's really not. It's fantastic. But I definitely am like finding myself gravitating more towards watching that as opposed to like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a huge sitcom person too.
Like The Office in the background.
Oh, The Office all the time. And New Girl too. New Girl's like one of my faves. Oh my God, yeah. So out of, okay, let's say Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office, New Girl. So you have to remove one, completely cancel, and like delete from the universe.
It's gotta be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm sorry.
What?
I know.
Okay, that's fair though, because the other two are really good. Okay, and then the other one you would keep forever, and it would be like the #1 selling, like 110%. Everybody has to watch it. It's like part of work training now. That's how intense it is. I want to say
The Office, but I know that shouldn't be part of like work training.
I mean, there's some good things that they bring up in it.
Yeah, it might be that one. Honestly, like
that's
I feel
fair.
like I've watched it probably more than 10 times through. Just
That's
like
fair.
it's just my background show. I don't know.
It just is though. It's so good. And then New Girl would follow. I was gonna say the third one would be just to like, I'll watch it once and just never watch it again. So you get to watch it, but it's done.
That's tough.
Yeah. See, that's why I was like,
watch it more than once.
So does that change your perspective on the choices you've made?
Maybe it does, because I've already watched The Office like 10 times. So maybe just one more time all the way through.
One more time and then
she's gone.
She's gone. And then you can watch New Girl and it's like top tier all the time. Part of workplace training. New Girl is part of workplace training. I feel like that would lead to a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of things. One, Ferguson, like every cat's name would be named Ferguson. Obviously. Two, drinking on the job, because Nick Miller basically drinks on the job all the time. Yeah. Everybody would want to go to law school and then change their mind. I feel like experiential learning would become a thing. Yeah. Because that's a part there's a lot of good things that can come out of it. Maybe not drinking on the job. Maybe that's not a good thing.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. If I can have a beer, maybe that'd be really nice sometimes. But yes, fair. But do you have like a character you resonate with from The Office, like so much that you're like, this is me? The Office is a hard one to place yourself in.
Oh, because some of the characters are just so hard to like. You have so much secondhand embarrassment for them that it's like, I can't call myself that character.
Absolutely.
Like they're all like some of them, and you don't want to just be like, oh, I'm Pam, because that's just
Pam's so boring.
Basic.
I'm not a big fan of Pam. I'm not gonna lie. She was okay in the earlier seasons, but right at the end, I was as soon as her and Jim got together, I was like, the point of Pam is done for me. Pam, done. I'm over it. But no, a lot of people say I'm Michael Scott. And I know that may be shocking, but I definitely bring Michael Scott energy.
I mean, the energy for sure.
Absolutely. I wish I could lead a meeting like him. Yeah. I wish.
Just get ethical.
Except like the ethical. There's a couple ones though that I'm like, could do without. But I think that's like why it's so charming, is because it's literally bringing a satirical value to the workplace, because everybody knows a boss like him. And he has a weird, quirky way of understanding what's going on, but then no one else understands what's going on. But The Office is really hard to place. So a New Girl, is there one that you really like cling on to? Like, this is me.
I have been told that I give like a little bit of Jess energy, but I think that's only on like a really special day.
Oh,
like
a special
really
day.
High energy
what would
day.
make you a Jess?
I think it just has to be like a really trifecta of just like a perfect day, like a sunny day, it's warm, everything is just like happy, and then it's like, whoa, Jess energy is here.
And you're crafting, you're wearing cool skirts,
everything is just like, nothing has gone wrong that day. Everybody's happy, everybody's kind, and I'm like, wow. Amazing.
I love that. See, that was giving Jess energy what you just did, so I get that. I always get placed as Nick Miller. Every single
on a bad day, I think I'm a Nick Miller.
I think we're all a little bit Nick Miller. I don't think there's anyone on this earth that doesn't relate to that guy at all. 100%. Especially when he moonwalks out of awkward situations. I'm like,